Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the Let's Talk Parenting podcast, where we just want to give insight about how to raise kids and students who live like Jesus. And today, we're going to talk about something that's kind of hard to talk about if we really think about it.
It's kind of the point of it.
Yeah. Talking to your kids. How do you do that? Like, how do you talk to them? How do you talk to teenagers, kids? How do you get them to listen? Y'all got any insight on that?
Well, I'm happy to be here. My name is John. This is Lauren, too.
Yes.
We're both Louviers, but we are not married.
Yeah, no.
We just want to make that clear to everyone.
That's a good point.
That we are not married.
I'm married to the better, younger,
some might say that, but not everyone.
Amazing Louvier. Yeah.
But yeah, this is one of those topics that's really, to think about. Like it can be daunting to think about what are you going to do? How are you going to get your kids to open up? You might want them to, or you might be scared for them to. Depending on what they're going to say. And so I think it's a really important one. But I'm really excited to be here. I'm hoping that you guys can fix me and my kids.
Well, we know you, so that's going to be very difficult. But
after
we can
20
try.
years, I don't know if
It's
that's
not happening.
possible.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
I mean, maybe
maybe
Fix.
tweaks, some
I
slight
don't know.
tweaks. Yeah, Amber might be happy about that and the kids.
So Lauren, let's dive right into this. Let's get started. Safe places. I want to kind of go that route. How do we create a safe place for our kids to feel comfortable coming to us and talking to us?
Yeah. Well, I think in general, teens and kids are scared to do it too. Just like how you just said, you're scared to talk to them. They're kind of scared to talk to you. They're scared that you're going to judge them or you're going to get mad at them. And so to be able to say, hey, you're okay. It's okay. Just share what you're feeling or share what's going on. Share if you have doubts, like things like that. That will help to state that. And you as the adult starting that of like, hey, here's where I've struggled a little bit. Like, what do you think? Creating that culture and an openness of you may not be doing the right thing or you may not say the right thing, but like, it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, for sure.
So John, like the one thing that I really do admire about you and your relationship with your kids is that y'all talk.
Yes.
Y'all actually have open dialogue and talk. And sometimes that's like, I don't know if you force them to, or if they have just become, it's the norm, but how do you do that? Like, how do you get your teenagers to talk to you? Because I know a lot of parents will say, I just can't get my kids to say 3 words.
Yeah. I think there's a few different things that we've tried to do. And for kids, I think fear is at the root of a lot, just like you were just saying. When I think about problems that we all have, fear sort of undergirds most of them. Like, I'm just afraid. And so a lot of times kids might be fearful of, if I say this, does this mean I'm not a Christian? Does this mean is something wrong with me or anything like that? And so the idea is to, Amber and I have really worked hard to try to parent from a place of vision instead of a place of fear. And so they might be scared, but we don't want to look scared, even though we might be, because it is scary. Like, a kid can open up about something. It can open up about struggles or doubts or anything like that. And as a parent, you're like, oh God, I got to jump in and fix this. What's the 10-step plan that we're going to do to figure this out and fix our kids? But the truth is like, we have to remain calm in those situations. And the only way that I've learned how to be able to do that with my teenagers is to not overreact to anything that they say. And to try to think about, like, all right, what type of human am I trying to raise here?
Yeah.
And how am I going to get them? So that whole idea of begin with the end in mind, and like figure out how I'm going to get them there, and have a vision for their lives rather than just a fear, like, oh God, they're struggling with this thing, they're going to turn into this, and I'm going to be a horrible parent that everyone talks about. All the fears and things that parents go through, but don't parent from that place. Try to stop that spirit of fear that might overcome us and parent from that vision for their lives and what we want them to be.
Yeah. And then one thing I just thought about as you were talking is I think we can't start with, hey, tell me how everything you're feeling.
That's true.
For me, it's, hey, I love you in the best of times. We're going to have fun. We're going to I create a culture. I want to create a culture of you can share with me.
That's right.
And not, hey, tell me what's wrong right now, like all these things, right? But like parenting or even like leading in student ministry, like creating a relationship first. And it sounds silly because they're your kids. So like,
but still,
you still have to cultivate that relationship.
You really do.
So like celebrating wins, like, hey, Reagan, you did awesome at this. Like, how'd you feel in that moment? Like, you were amazing. You did great. How did you feel? You know, like, can you do things better? Like, were you struggling? Were you nervous? Like, things like that. But like cultivating that as the parent helps, and celebrating. Like, I like to celebrate everything. Like, it just makes life better. Like, it's better, right? And
we are a
like,
celebration culture for
yes.
sure.
And so like creating those moments too, I think helps.
Yeah. So like in creating those moments and in creating that atmosphere, almost, you're creating a safe place for them to express, hey, this is how this made me feel. This is how it made me do. Like, do you find in doing that, maybe in talking with kids, for kid men, or for your own teenagers, like how much more do they open up when they feel safety in that?
Yeah. One of the things that a lot, I'll go ahead and answer that. That's an easy one to answer. They open up way more if they feel safe. If they don't feel like they're going to, one of the things that we'll try to do, especially dads, I think, probably men are worse at this than women, but maybe some women too, is I hear this issue and I can fix it. And so I'm going to try to fix you. And I think we do this with our wives too. It's not just with our kids. We want to
fix
everything. Yeah.
Like, we want to fix everything.
Man, we got to fight against that urge, because sometimes that removes safety from the equation, because, okay, it's not okay that I'm feeling this way. I'm someone who needs to be fixed. And so just creating that atmosphere where we can just talk, and it's okay that you're feeling a certain way. And I love what Lauren said, because sometimes you're probably not going to end up, or you're probably not going to start with a kid who's willing to open up about the most vulnerable parts of their lives. You have to start with, we just talk about everything. We just, we create those spaces. I think sometimes as parents, we make the mistake of allowing our house to be sort of siloed, where our kids go to their rooms and we're in the living room and that sort of thing. And you got to do your best. I know that there is going to be some of that, every now and then. I do believe that people need their alone time, and like they don't need to always, be together. I'm one of those people, if I'm being honest, but you do need to create experiences and moments where you can have conversations, and it doesn't always have to be heavy. Like, we're just talking about life and different things.
So what's the best, what have y'all seen as the best practices for, like, if a family's struggling with getting their kids or even teenagers to talk, like, what are some good practices? What are some good things that you've done, like, set in place to get them to start talking in home, like, or let's just be honest, like, it's so tempting for us to be on our phones and kind of disengaged, even if we're out to eat together.
100%. And that's not just a kid problem.
Yeah, that's not a kid problem.
That's all of us.
That's everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
So how do we get our kids to engage with us? What are some practices? What are some practical ways?
Yeah. So like, I'm very practical. I'm a very practical person. And so for me, it would literally be like, I have to choose to talk to my child. So it sounds silly, but it's true what you just said. And so like, when are those moments? Easy moments are dinner.
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe we're not the best at hanging out together, and that's okay. Like, this is what this is for. But like, okay, we eat dinner every day, hopefully. And so let's sit together at the table and let's talk. Let's put our phones down. You put your phone down. I'll put my phone down. Our kids will put their stuff down. We'll turn the TV off and we'll talk. And maybe that's, hey, today I had a really stressful day. Mom's tired. Like, I'm this, I'm that, like, talk about me first. Like, leaders go first, parents can go first. And so that's a practical way. Another practical way would be like in the car with your kid, not just, hey, how's your day? Oh, it was good. Cool. Let's turn the radio on. But like open-ended questions of like, how was your day in this area? Or like, did you feel scared today? Like, it's a new year. Like, did you feel a little nervous today? Like, asking practical, easy questions that they can answer that aren't so like, yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Because they're going to give those.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So would I, right? You know, so we have to like practice that.
Yeah, and then follow up with the why.
Yeah.
I think,
always follow up with why.
One of the things that I'm hearing you say is, to have those moments. And I think one thing that we have to realize, though, is that not every kid is the same.
Yeah.
I have raised 2 teenagers in the same home with the same parents and the same parenting style, surrounded by the same people, and they could not be more different. I'm saying, like, just
one's a YouTube star.
Yeah, one is. He's a budding
and
YouTube
not
star.
the one you would
not
think,
the one you would think.
right?
Not the one that's outgoing. It's the one who never speaks.
Yeah.
He'll get on YouTube and talk up a storm. But what's crazy is that they couldn't be more different. And so what I've had to do is learn how to create different moments for each of them. Like Reagan and I, we have like this little time where she's about to go to bed, and it could be a half hour, it could be an hour, where she just comes in like still at 14, she'll be 15 this summer, sits on my lap, we hang out, we talk, and it's not always heavy. Sometimes we're talking about absolutely nothing. Sometimes I'm just messing with her and she's messing with me because we like to do that. But that's our time. With Rhett, it's more when we're doing stuff together. He loves to be outside. He's got the YouTube channel where he fishes and hunts and kills stuff. And not to scare anyone.
Animals, not just stuff. Like animals.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's things that he can kill.
Just to clarify.
And in season.
In season.
That's the thing that I've been trying to get him to do. So, it's one of those things that different kids take different types of moments. And so don't get frustrated that, one kid always responded to this, but the other one's not. Rhett is never going to come sit on my lap and have a conversation. He's more of a thinker. Like if y'all have ever seen him, he's like in the background sort of thing. And so just practically like understand that they're a little bit different and they might take something. But one thing I loved about what you said, Lauren, is sometimes we have to go first.
Yeah.
I think our kids think we have it all together and like we know everything and probably because of us, we sort of act like we have all the answers. Yeah. But man, if you can go first, especially if your kid isn't opening up, and talk to them about some of the struggles and I've done that with mine. Like, hey, here's how I struggled when I was your age. Is this something that you're feeling? When Rhett and I have gone to the camp, we have 3 hours in the truck and, hey man, when I was your age, this is some stuff that I was going through. Is this something that you're dealing with and it'll get him talking because it's more about me than it is about him. Yeah.
Yeah. And knowing that, like he said, not everyone is the same, but also like kids are something. Right?
They are.
That's a really good way to describe that.
Maybe the same thing that works for your daughter may not work the next day.
No, yes.
And so to be able to think,
that's such a good point.
To be able to say, okay, today this worked, tomorrow it may not, but like, what's the goal? The goal is I want my kid to be safe, feel safe enough to talk to me. And so it's easy to get discouraged or whatever, but it's like, no, let's just try something new. So like maybe a question or a different way of asking something, but like they're just different. Kids are different.
To be fully transparent, I have great kids, but the other day I literally was like, I am completely failing at this. What am I doing wrong?
And they really are like
they
the
are
best.
Great kids, but I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't get through to them.
They were probably acting like you.
Well, sure.
Okay.
But I couldn't get through and I was like, man, what is going on? So yeah, it doesn't always work.
And so just try not to get discouraged
There's a lot of
like,
grace.
wait, now like I'm completely a failure because my kid was talking to me, now they're not. And so I think that's a good thing to think about.
Yeah, so let's use a real life sort of example right now. Say a parent comes to you and says, hey, I have a 15-year-old or I have a 5-year-old even, because we experienced this a little bit with Palmer and still kind of do this where she says, hey, like I don't want to tell you what happens at school. And we have no idea why. This started when she went to pre-K 4. Because
that's
for
her time. It's private.
That is her business. Like she really thinks that what happens at school is my deal. Y'all aren't there, and so y'all don't need to know. And so we've really kind of struggled pulling that out of her. So let's say a parent comes to you and says, hey, I have a 15-year-old, I have a 5-year-old. I can't get them to talk. Where do I start?
Yeah.
What would you say to them? How do you approach that part of where do I start? Like, what do I do?
I have some. I think one of the mistakes that we make as parents is we attempt to force it at the wrong times, and we don't prepare our kids for conversations. I always talk to Amber about this. Amber is like in the car as soon as the kid gets in. I want to know everything. Well, Reagan is like me, and after a long day, I need some time to just kind of come down a little bit, and then we can talk.
unwind to some forest.
Like Reagan's coming off of like basketball practice or track or something like that. Maybe she didn't have the best day or whatever. Or it could be the best day of all time. But like she just needs a moment, and Amber will start asking all these questions. And Amber, we've talked. It's cool that I say this. I'm not talking behind Amber's back. She'll watch this eventually.
Yeah.
But and like Amber's pushing and that sort of thing. And so I think one of the things I've told her is, all right, if Reagan's not ready in that moment, maybe invite a conversation later and say, hey, I understand you don't want to talk right now, but what if we talked, later on, like right before dinner, for a few minutes, and you tell me about your day. Here's what I want to know about. I want to know about practice. I want to know what your coach said and how it went. And so you give them an idea. One of the things is like when they jump in the car and we start peppering them with questions, I've seen just complete shutdown out of every kid I've ever seen. And I do the same thing, so I don't blame them.
Yeah. And then I think one thing that came to mind is my husband makes fun of me because he says I make everything deeper than it has to be. So I'll say like, well, the Bible says that, whatever. But I do think that some things are practical. And so what came to mind is teaching your children, okay, the Bible says that you are better in community.
Yeah.
And isolation can cause a lot of things. And so, Palmer, I know that you don't want to share about everything, but can you tell me one thing about your day at school? Because you're isolating, and you don't have to say that word. You're not gonna know what that means. But we can start even as a 2, 3, 4-year-old. Like I can literally ask Crew, my 2-year-old, "Hey, did you have fun today?" He might not know what but he, I mean, you know him.
It starts the conversation.
He's cray cray. He literally most of the days he's like, yeah, like, and I'm like, yes, ma'am. But like, so just using biblical principles too, and it can come, we joke and say like it's cliche or like whatever, but like the Bible is what we try to live off 100%. Of. So like, why can't we start as a 5-year-old or a 15-year-old and say that like, hey, like I want you to share. You don't have to overshare, but I want you to share a little bit, and explaining that to them from the beginning.
That's a mistake that a lot of us make, is that we think that this is something that we can start later.
Right.
But you can't start this early enough. Like building the culture of, hey, we share with one another. I also love, you said, this whole community thing. This is something at our church that we truly believe in. Like everyone is better in the context of community. And that goes for our kids. And so maybe my kid won't always open up to me about everything, but I have purposely and intentionally put her and him in the pathway of adults that I trust.
That's right.
Whether it be their small group leader or other people in our small group, where I'll see Reagan having conversations with one of the ladies at small group. Like after small group, they're just talking, they're just hanging out. And I'll see Rhett, outside showing his bow to one of the guys in small group. And like, that's just what they're doing. And so having that community that can extend a little bit outside of us can create some of the conversations that maybe they don't want to have with you immediately, but it can come later. And so investing in that.
I'll kind of add to that. Just for parents, like if you have one takeaway from today, would be that biblical community that we talk about all the time starts at home.
That's right.
Yes.
And so as you think about that, as you think about the community the biblical community that we're supposed to have, that biblical discipleship that we're supposed to have, all starts at home. And so the conversations that you have with your kids, with your students, that's biblical. Whether you're just talking about what happened today or, what's going to happen next week or how to process this emotion, whether you just watch it Inside Out or whatever, like that community starts at home. And so if there's one thing that our parents can take away from that, I think that would be a really good thing.
I think that's a huge one. And just to like be able to admit, I don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
And maybe someone else will.
Yeah, and then when they say the same thing you've said like 50 times, and you want to be like, I said that. What are you talking about?
But they finally listen. Yeah.
But they finally listen. That's a win.
It is a win.
Even though it didn't come from you. Because it really did come from you, and they've heard it.
Well, listen,
You're
the truth is
every day.
It's not a scorecard. We just want our kids to be good humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever they get that from, whatever.
That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Any final takeaways? Any final word of encouragement that you would give parents on this topic of just talking to their kids?
I think for me would just be to start talking to them. And it sounds so simple, but I think it is. Like all the things we talked about, just practically giving them opportunities to be able to talk to them and going first. Like, You share about your day. You share about what you're feeling. You share about what you have been through, even as early as 5 years old. Talk about how your day was, and knowing that it's gonna be okay, even if they don't talk today. We just keep going. Just keep going.
And I think going off of that, I think as parents, we probably need to admit that that sounds crazy. Just talk to your kids, but the truth is, we get wrapped up in our own lives, and we need to admit that. And we need to maybe repent of that and decide that our house is going to be a little different going forward. And sometimes you got to make some real adjustments to yourself to be able to, create the culture that you want your house to have. And so that's what I would say going off of what you said. But also, as you're doing that, the advice that I would give is to show everyone in the situation grace, especially if it's not a culture that presently exists. If this is something new that you're trying to start with a 15 or a 16-year-old, or even a 10-year-old that they've never experienced this, it's going to be bumpy at first. Yep. It just will. And even if it has been a thing, it still will be bumpy. It's always bumpy. And so just give yourself some grace and give your kids some grace and just pray and ask the Lord to create this desire in each of you to connect, in these deeper ways.
Yeah. Well, John and Lauren, thank y'all so much for joining us today. And really just pouring into me. I mean, I got a lot from this, and just how to talk to my kids, and having an 8 and 4-year-old, that's just crazy a little bit at times.
You're really
and just
old.
I know.
And so are you, especially for a 15-year-old, way.
So, but yeah, thanks for pouring into us, and parents, we really want to be an encouragement to you, in talking to your kids and your students. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. We'll try to get to those, but also email us, text us, and say, hey, listen, this is a struggle or this is a win. We'd love to hear about your wins and how you're doing that. If you have any other questions or any other topics that you would want us to address on this podcast, comment below. Please like and subscribe, and then share this podcast with other parents in our community. It doesn't matter if they go to our church or not.
That's right.
Please share this with them and just give this as a free resource to all your friends who have kids who are maybe trying to do their best in raising kids in today's age. It's kind of tough.
It is
not exactly easy.
I just want to say thank y'all for fixing me.
Yeah, you should be fixed. Y'all are welcome.
15, 20 minutes, we got it done.
It was done. Yeah.
Got it done. Made some few adjustments.
I appreciate it.
So thank y'all, and we will see you next time on the Let's Talk Parenting podcast.